What's up, everyone? My name is Jaya Tawari, and I know that I'm brown, but if I bomb this set, don't tell the FBI. I always open with a terrorist joke, and I always wear a jersey when I do stand-up. It's my personal branding, and it works, because now people refer to me as the Jersey Girl. One problem, though, I am not from Jersey. But a lot of my favorite people are, so I don't really have a problem with it, like the Jonas Brothers and the Rizzler. More importantly, though, the god I worship is actually from Jersey. So Hinduism's the oldest religion, right? It was founded all the way back when Pangaea still existed, meaning that the place where all the Hindu gods and goddesses were born is now present-day New Jersey. Why do you think so many Indians live there? No, I'm just fucking with you guys. The god I worship is Bruce Springsteen. I was raised in the Church of the Boss. I actually made a pilgrimage to the Jersey Shore a few years ago to honor him, kind of like how Muslims make a Hajj to Mecca. No, I'm actually from the South, which is a different kind of crazy white people. I grew up riding horses, but then I got really into animal rights, and I decided to save horses and ride cowboys instead. But I never actually had sex ed in middle school because my principal was so religious that she didn't believe in it, which is pretty crazy considering her name was Mrs. Cox. But growing up non-white in the South was wild. I was one of 6 Indians in my grade at 500, and my town as a whole was 85% white. One time I said I was Indian, and someone looked me dead in the eyes and went, "That's so cool. What tribe is your family from?" And I was like, "Asia." But none of the Indians from my high school are real brown people. Like one of them has a pig farm, which is not very halal. Another one of them is an Indian country singer. Have you ever seen an Indian guy sing with a southern accent? It's fucked up. He's singing Country Girl Shake It For Me, and I'm like, dude, the only thing that Country Girl is doing is calling ice on you. But shockingly, my hometown was also very, very Republican. I was home last weekend, and on my hour-long hot girl walk, I counted 17 Trump flags. Yeah, not very funny, is it? So you guys are not gonna like the next thing I say, but unfortunately, because of that, a lot of my friends from growing up are Republican. See, I told you nobody would like that. So much for the tolerant left. But you guys gotta understand, it was either I had no friends or I had Republican friends. And I was a nerdy brown kid who did robotics, so I didn't really have a choice. But the fact that I have Republican friends still is proof that the woke mind virus doesn't exist. Because trust me, I've been trying to give it to them. My favorite Republicans are my neighbors from down the streets. They got a closet full of guns and taught me how to shoot a hunting bow when I was a tween. Yeah, don't fuck with me. But every now and then, they like to bring me fresh bison burgers and deer jerky from their hunts. They're so white that they can trace their great-great-great-grandparents were American settlers expanding west. So I don't even want to think about how many Native Americans they killed. But the fact that we now celebrate Thanksgiving with them means that we're like the only people that still celebrate Thanksgiving the traditional way between colonizers and Indians. But those same neighbors also have a bunny who has the same name as my ex. And so every time I was mad at him, I would just go over there and bully their bunny. My ex was your classic blue-eyed guy on the football team, and he ended up joining the military. And do you guys know how embarrassing it is to date a guy in the military and not get proposed to? But he joined the military because everyone in his family had served, which was concerning because he can trace his roots back to the Civil War. And you can guess what side his family fought for. My other ex is from Arkansas, and he's also got Confederate heritage. So clearly I'm really good at ignoring literal red flags. Meanwhile, all of my ex-situationships are Jewish, so I don't really know what to make of that diversity. But I'd actually like to take this moment to apologize to my middle school teacher who was a Holocaust denier. But after this most recent election, I did get really mad and have to cut off a lot of my Republican friends. But the thing that nobody tells you about cutting off Republicans is that when you do that, you lose access to boats. So this summer I had to backtrack that one real quick. If you see me on a boat this summer, mind your own fucking business. The other crazy thing about brown people from my hometown is that my dad is one of them because he drives a pickup truck. And what Indian doctor drives a fucking pickup truck? But if you're wondering what part of the South I am from, the South I've been referring to this entire time is, of course, the South of Orange County. I was born and raised in Newport Beach, California. Yet somehow, all of that is completely true. I swear to God, I mean, Bruce Springsteen. But I did go to college in Missouri, and I got really into baseball when I was there, hence the jersey here. Are any of you guys baseball fans? Okay, we got a few. Now, how many of you own Dodgers gear? Okay, actually only one person that's performative. Hell yeah!
I went yesterday.
Okay, she went to the game yesterday. Maybe it's a little better. Well, some of us actually really do love boring sports. I love baseball so much that I actually run and manage my own baseball team. Instead of being called the Sluggers, it's called the Slutters because it's made up entirely of guys I've hooked up with. Every time after I hook up with a guy, I create a baseball card of him, complete with stats and positions. Not the positions you're thinking, baseball positions. So if we made it to first base, he's a first baseman. If you saw some tits, he's a second baseman. If I never want to see his face again, he's a catcher, because they wear a mask you cannot see through. A guy I can't believe I got with, well, he came out of left field. And guys I want to hook up with again are pitchers because I need them to throw their balls at me. Then of course there's the guys that have hit home runs. They're part of my batting roster and they all have fancy little labels like leadoff hitter, who's the guy you trust the most to give you a big, long home run. My ex is both my pitcher and my leadoff hitter. He's my Shohei Ohtani, if Shohei was a Confederate. I also have a scouting system for players who I expect to be free agents soon, aka guys who are in relationships right now that I eventually want to fuck. And finally, I have a Hall of Fame complete with awards like most home runs hit, longest tenure on the team, and player most likely to retire as a slutter. And every time I post this bit online, the comments love to call me fatherless. But it's like, how do you think I know so much about baseball? This is my dad's fault, just in a different way. My dad is actually here tonight. Looks like he took his truck for a spin. And I think he brought a friend. I believe that's the father of the Indian country singer. But anyways, make sure you stream Back in Austin by Suchin in the Porch. And if anyone knows a liberal cowboy who wants to play for a baseball team, send him my way. Thank you so much.